Okay folks, it's pretty hot in this unit at the moment, even though it was a cooler day than yesterday. Yesterday was stifling hot, and basically my bedroom was really hot and I had to run the fan next to the bed in order for me to get to sleep. Climate change indeed. Let's see what we can do. This unit tends to hold temperature, and once it gets hot, it just gets hot. It's nice when it's hot for a short period of time, and then it just warms up slowly, and then when it's been hot for a couple of days, you feel it, and it stays in this unit for days. So I'm not happy with this heat. This one's going to be a challenging one we're doing here. A little bit tricky. Okay, let's see what we've got. Oh, we left something on the glass from yesterday. I'll have to put that back in the box. I'll just leave it there. We're just going to get our object, or should I say what we've got is a box. It's from Fruit Mince Pies. Very nice. I got this in a Christmas hamper, and I'm going to copy that relatively smallish area there, somewhere thereabouts. So yeah. But yeah, they're really nice. I do like having some Christmas food. I don't actually celebrate Christmas truly because I'm not with my loved one, Luigi, so I do feel that I can't celebrate when I'm on my own. It's just no fun being alone, folks. No fun being away from someone you love dearly. I'm the kind of person that if this person doesn't get found, I'll end up dying of a broken heart. Or if he's actually married someone else, which I doubt it. But if that's happened, I'll die of a broken heart. So my life depends on him and I soon getting back together. So if I don't find him, I will be dead. I will die of a broken heart. There's just no two ways getting out of it, folks. This is a little bit tricky, this one, because we've got all that labelling there. Wondering if we should perhaps move it down a little bit. But basically I really, really miss him dearly, and if I don't find him, I will die. I will die, but I'm okay with it because I'm ready to die. I've made my peace with death about over how many years? Since the 5th of July 2011. That was the day the penny dropped and I found out that I didn't have to fear death anymore. For me, that's just for me, not for a lot of people. A lot of people are still scared shitless. They're not ready to go, they're not ready for it, and that's understandable. It's understandable that if you're not ready to die, you don't want to die. And you got to prepare yourself for death, folks. You got to prepare yourself, you got to be ready, because it could come any time. It could come any time, folks. To be ready for death is a good thing. It's not nice being afraid of death and constantly having it on your mind like I did, but sometimes you have to think about life. You have to think what is valuable in life, what is valuable and what is important, instead of just living this life for the materialism that we have today, where everything's about money. We've got to think beyond that area, and that's where we have to be prepared for death. Very solemn sort of a theme to this demo, folks. I know it's a bit of a bummer when you think about death, because you're having fun, just getting on with your life and doing your favourite things, and then this comes in your face, and it's really no fun. I know it's no fun. It took me decades to prepare for death. or to accept it. Now that looks shit with that there. Thinking we're just going to do it a bit differently. So we're just going to turn it this way. But basically, most people are just not ready for the time of death, and it's really tragic. And we've got all these people fighting deadly bushfires, and we've had people dying on the scenery, both civilians and fireys, and it's just such a shocker. And what could be worse than nature showing you that maybe your life is not in place? You know, that maybe you've got to prepare for death and prepare that your house might not be standing, which is another bummer of an issue, is having to deal with material loss, such as losing your house in a bushfire. So you've got to basically be prepared for these bummers, these fucking bummers in life. And they are bummers. I know, I agree. But you got to think about them, folks. You know, and people not just losing their property, they might have lost important documents like their birth certificates, their marriage certificates, all sorts of shit that you need to get on in life in this material world. And if you don't have your birth certificate, for example, you could be in deep shit. How are you supposed to prove who you are? You know, it's basic identity documents that if they get raised with the rest of the house, how are you supposed to replace them when you haven't got anything to go by anymore? You don't have the documents you need to rebuild your life. You know, how do people know who the fuck you are if you haven't got even a birth certificate to prove who you are, or your driver's license? Well, maybe, yeah, you could have left your wallet behind and maybe just grabbed the keys, and maybe the driver's license was in the wallet and the wallet got burned up in the flames. Then you lose all sorts of shit. So it's a real bummer, and death, both death and material loss, is a real bummer. It's a bummer. There's just no two ways about it. But you got to fucking, so therefore you got to prepare for this shit, come what may. Now this didn't turn out too well. I'm just wondering, I think I should have pushed it down rather than up. So I'm just going to push it down again, and just down a bit further. But yeah, you just have to be ready for things. You got to be like the old Girl Guide and Scouts used to say, be prepared. So yeah, everything's cruising for a while, and then something happens, and then you fucking know it, and you can't think about all the good times that you had and the Christmas food that you ate. All just fades into insignificance when shit actually ends up hitting the fan and hitting it hard. You just got to get rid of that. So you got to basically prepare for when the shit hits the fan. If we must use a real old-fashioned, you heard that a lot in the movies, you know, in the movie called, I think it's called Flying High Part 1. There's a little line that goes, if Kramer hears about this, the shit's gonna hit the fan. So there you go, that's the first time. My brother introduced me to that phrase in the movie, just before we watched the movie, and I thought it was funny about that. Now we've pushed it down too far, we're meant to push it up. I just can't get this right, folks. But basically, yeah, when the shit hits the fan, yeah, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, but you got to be prepared in life for that. Somehow you got to be prepared. Just like the Girl Guides and the Scouts. I used to be a guide, but I never got really into it. It was one of the many activities my dad used to try and get me to do for after school. Yeah, we just got a little bit of that there. Just those activities we did after school. And Dad never encouraged me with my explorations of the photocopier, I'm afraid. Everything else I did never seemed to work, and this is the only thing that I've stuck with, that I've truly stuck with. And he still doesn't like it. He thinks it's odd. He doesn't like odd things, he likes to be normal. So Dad tried to normalise me by spending money on all these after school activities, and I never ever stuck with them. Even some of the ones I liked, like keyboard, I never stuck with, or karate. So even though I liked keyboard and I liked karate, I never got into it. I never could actually adhere to it. Though I chose to do those activities, they weren't forced upon me, but my dad was always trying to make me normal. And I just hated his fucking idea of normal, and mediocrity, because mediocrity is not achievement, folks. It's just one less. It's just to him, it's better than failure. My dad fears failure. He fears that I'm going to look stupid with this, and he doesn't seem to know that the big mistake I made regarding this was giving it up. It didn't work very well when I gave it up, and I gave it up at a time when there were opportunities, including Luigi, and it just looked as if I was still doing it and nothing good happened. But it wasn't that. It was because I gave up, and he doesn't seem to get that. That he seems to think that there's something wrong with what I'm doing, that he wants me to paint or draw. He just wants to normalise me, and it drives me up the wall the way he is. He just hasn't got any idea. He just wants everyone, he just likes me to be a fucking clone of himself. He goes and does singing lessons, but he doesn't know, he can't sing, should I say. He can't even sing. He does stupid philosophy classes, and it doesn't make him any wise. And he's just a fucking idiot. He's a fuckstick. He's a bully, and I hate his guts. He has to apologise for the foolishness that he did. But you see now, that looks a lot better. I think now we can call this one quits.